What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball announcers will be up all night, but Trevor Ariza signed that 1 year, $15 million deal with the Phoenix Suns, which is a surprise to a lot of people that he will go from a team that can potentially win a championship and go to a team like the Suns. Kind of like what he did with the Wizards. Played for the Lakers and then went to the Wizards and helped them win. And then he jetted out to go to Houston, which helped them win now. And now it looks like he kind of chasing the cash because getting a 1 year, $15 million deal don't give you job security, especially at his age. But also, he always going to be a coveted guy as long as he can switch and play multiple positions and shoot that spot up three. People going to want him. But with Mikal Bridges and a guy like obviously Josh Jackson, they're showing that they want to win now. Getting a pick and trading up for Mikal Bridges, securing the number one pick and other solid draft prospects in the draft. This team looks like they're going in the right direction. I feel like Trevor Ariza is going to allow them to mature. He can tell them some things and show them how to be a professional, show them how to practice, show them how to get better. He basically showing guys how to take his spot because I definitely don't see Trevor Ariza staying longer than what he is, especially with Mikal Bridges and Josh Jackson on the roster. He can play some four. Obviously, he played a little bit of four when he was with the Rockets a lot, even a couple years ago before it became popular. These long wing guys are commodity in the league, especially if they can switch. And he can play the two too. He's long and athletic enough to guard twos and point guard. So he still does have some value around in the league. Obviously, giving him $15 million is kind of like, wow, that's a lot of money to give him. But this is a Phoenix team that really has nobody that they really need. It's not one free agent that's going to change their direction. When you look at it and realistically, LeBron is really the only player available at this point that can really take them from a rebuilding team to a championship team. And it looks like he has no interest in going to the Suns, which is smart. But in the future, it would be a good pickup, especially with Aiden and Booker already on that roster. Now that I'm starting to think about it, I kind of like it. But I doubt LeBron go there anyway. But it wouldn't be that as bad as people think if they really if he really did want to come to Phoenix. That's a solid team to be around. But at the end of the day, I don't really think this is the biggest deal. I don't really think it matters that much. Trevor Ariza isn't going to help them become a championship team. Obviously, having young wings that need to be taught, need to be developed. He's a mentor for those guys, and he's a professional. He's going to come in, do whatever the coach needs him to do, hit the shots he needs to hit, play the role he needs to do, and that's about it. I don't really have much to say about this, but Trevor Ariza, journeyman, trying to win, trying to get money, left a championship team to basically find another place to play at next year. At the end of the day, it is a business. At the end of the day, if this is the best opportunity and something that he really wants to do, who am I to tell him not to do it? If this is what he want to do, this is his decision, this is his life, this is his journey. But at the end of the day, out of all teams, I would never see them signing with the Suns, especially when you have a lot of teams like the Pelicans and stuff that if take less money, he could be an integral part of their team. Like if they do sign back DeMarcus, they need a wing to play that three spot that can switch, that can shoot the spot up three. You've seen it with Drew Holiday playing. They had nobody for KD. Obviously, if they add a person like Trevor Ariza, he can guard and contest KD, even Kawhi, even LeBron, even Iguodala, even Clay, even other guys in the West like Devin Booker. So he would have been more valuable on a contending team because he would have got not the money, but he would have got a role that could have gave him a championship, even if he would have stayed with the Rockets. But this is a business. This is his decision. It is what it is. And helping Mikal Bridges and Josh Jackson, those are the guys that's coming up. Those are the guys that's going to fill this position long term. And now they have a guy that can get in their way, but also show them the way as a player. The league is getting more younger with the summer league, with the draft, with the G League. The veterans don't really have as much staying power as they had before because there's so much access to a lot of talent. I tell you guys that a lot, and you're starting to see it now. The players are only getting younger. They're coming out at 18, 19 years old, going to the NBA. That cuts a lot of veteran jobs while also making the league a little bit more younger. So it's always a pro and a con with everything. Trevor Ariza, I definitely seen him signing a shorter deal, but I didn't see him signing one with a team that's rebuilding. That was the surprising part to me, especially for a 1 year deal. That's kind of crazy. But he was going to have to take a massive pay cut if he wanted to go to a team like New Orleans or a team that needed him. He'd basically be getting paid to 4 to 5 million. That's 10 million less than what he's going to make with the Suns. We seen it with Tyson Chandler. They wanted to bring him in to help Alex Len out, and then they ended up drafting Chris and Bender. Didn't really work out the way that they wanted to. But at the same time, Tyson Chandler wasn't complaining. He was getting minutes, he was getting playing time, and he was getting a nice check. Even though he did waste the last 4 years of his time in Phoenix, they did nothing but losing. They never really made any significant noise in the West. They never even came close to making the playoffs. But when he count that check, it will be nice. Um, Obviously, he went to Phoenix to try to make the playoffs, but he could have took less money and played for a contender. And now I think Tyson Chandler is a player that's on his last legs. And even when I looked at Trevor Ariza, he had a couple of decent series, and I was surprised that he went in this direction. So we'll see if he's on the roster. He's kind of seen it with George Hill a couple of years last year, signing with the Sacramento Kings, and by the end of the season, he was off the roster. Um, at the end of the day, I don't really see this working out that much, but I still think Trevor Ariza is a starter quality player. At worst, he's a bench player that can still contribute and get 15 to 20 minutes on a good team, and that's valuable, and that's something that team's going to want. 15 million ain't really like an unattractive contract. That's not that bad. So it ain't like they're paying on 25 million like JJ Redick getting 23 million for in 1 year. Trevor Ariza for 15 million is not terrible. And like I said, it is a 1 year deal, so he comes off next year anyway. And then you get the cap space to go after another max guy because they failed to get one this year, but they also won the draft. So it might help you win more. It might hurt your lottery stock if you do win a couple more games because of Ariza. It might be worth the risk to help mentor the young wings that you have coming up. But at the same time, um, I thought Ariza would be chasing championships. Then you can make the argument at the same time that he already won championships with the Lakers. So maybe he don't need it. Maybe he don't want more. Maybe he just want to play basketball and enjoy it and still get paid. Like I said, he already won a ring. He already competed with the Wizards. He already competed with the Rockets. And now he just a journeyman, and he still has value in this league. So at the end of the day, he's going to be a perfect fit alongside Devin Booker, a guy that Devin Booker know what he brings to the table. He's going to do whatever he has to do in those lineups. He's going to be who he been in the league. So there's nothing real interesting to say about him. Just a little disappointed that he went to a team this young, knowing that it's going to be a lot of growing pains and losing involved when you can be trying to pop champagne by the end of the season on a good team. I mean, on a great team to championship team, instead of going to a team that most likely will be one of the worst teams in the league, potentially, depending on how they work out and how they mesh and how they gel. But this dude still help him in the long run too, because he's going to be a guy you know what you're going to get out of. So we'll see if they're going to try to push for the playoffs or are they going to continue to try to rebuild. To me, this is more of a let's try to be as competitive as we can move while also knowing we have long-term flexibility in the future. So it don't really hurt the Suns. It don't really hurt Trevor Ariza. And it don't hurt nobody on this roster. And it don't hurt them cap-wise because they couldn't really get no big-name free agent anyway. So at the end of the day, I don't really have much to say other than that. Look out for this team. They're going to be one of the league pass teams. They're going to be one of the fun teams as exciting to watch. You want to know what's going to happen. You want to know who's going to go for 30. You want to see DeAndre play to see if he's overhyped, to see if he really worth the contract that he got. I mean, really worth the number one pick that he was. People said Doncic was the best. People said Bagley was a sure thing. At the end of the day, this is just a move to get them going in the right direction. And I think Ariza could play a small part in that considering that he's not a part of the long-term future. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Like to show support, Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think about Trevor Ariza signing a 1-year deal with the Phoenix Suns.